Welcome. And also with us, Sri Dhyaneshwar M. Mule, Secretary, CPV and OIA, Ministry of External Affairs. The subject of the session, Catalysts for Realizing India's Development Vision, India Development Foundation of Overseas Indians. We're shortly going to be joined by our other participants also. And also please welcome our session coordinator, Vani Rao, Joint Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs. The other participants in this plenary, and if they'll please come up on stage, we're happy to welcome them. Mr. Yusuf Ali, IDF, OI Board Member, Chairman and MD, Lulu Group of Industries, UAE. Dr. Vijay Chauthaiwale, Head of BJP's Foreign and Overseas Friends Cell, India. Mr. Balesh Singh Dhankar, BI Strategy Manager, Toyota Motor Corporation, Australia. Mr. Subhash Jindal, CMD, Prateek General Trading. Mr. Arun Kankani, Executive Vice President, Seva International Incorporation, USA. Mr. Sushil Saraf, Chairman, Saraf Group of Companies, Thailand. Welcome. Mr. Ramesh Chandra Shah, Founder and Chairman, Ikkal Vidyalaya, USA. Professor Sri Srinath, Professor at Case Western Reserve University, Cleveland, Ohio. Mr. Krishna Kumar Tauri, Group MD, Hassan Juma Backer Trading and Contracting Company, Oman. Mr. Hari Kiran Vadlamani, Founder, Cause First Ventures Private Limited, Singapore. And also Mr. Bharat Vadukul, Founder, Member, BHR Pharmaceuticals, UK. We're going to begin with a short film. The India Development Foundation of Overseas Indians, IDFOI, Hello, check. Right, I'll use this for the time being, thank you. The India Development Foundation of Overseas Indians, IDFOI, is a not-for-profit trust set up by the Government of India to enable philanthropy from NRIs and PIOs to social and developmental projects in India. It is chaired by the Honorable External Affairs Minister, Srimati Sushma Swaraj. Presently, IDFOI is promoting Government of India's flagship programs, Swachh Bharat Mission and the National Mission for Clean India, and social and development projects in the states of India for funding by overseas Indians. IDFOI facilitates the diaspora's engagements with India's social and developmental efforts. It is 100% transparent and a credible platform to facilitate the diaspora's desire to connect back and give back to their country of origin. So let's now see a short film on IDFOI.
Is there a technical problem with the film? Is there a technical problem with the film?
To replay those memories and think of home. If you've always wanted to give back to your nation, here's your chance. The India Development Foundation of Overseas Indians, or IDFOI, is a not-for-profit trust registered by the Government of India. It provides a credible window for overseas Indian philanthropy in India's social development.
IDF यानी इंडिया डेवलपमेंट फाउंडेशन एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है जहां विदेशों में बसे हुए भारतीय भारत के विकास के लिए अपनी ओर से पैसा भेज सकते हैं। पर मैं आरंभ में ये बताना चाहूँगी कि पैसा दान नहीं है, ये अपनी जड़ों से जुड़ने का एक माध्यम है, ये अपने मिट्टी का कर्ज चुकाने का एक जरिया है, ये अपने देश के प्रति भावनात्मक लगाव का प्रदर्शन है। मैंने लोगों को ये कहते सुना था कि एक भारतवासी को भारत के बाहर ले जाया जा सकता है, पर उसके दिल से भारत को निकाला नहीं जा सकता। अपनी विदेश यात्राओं के दौरान इस भावना को मैंने अपनी आंखों से देखा है और हर जगह लोग ये पूछते थे कि हम अपने देश के लिए कुछ करना चाहते हैं, मगर कैसे करें। उसी के लिए ये प्लेटफॉर्म हमने सक्रिय किया है।
In Gujarat, near Khambhat, this is village Shakarpur. Sri Swaminarayan School is proving to be a game changer. Dreams have found wings thanks to this computer lab. The chemistry lab in the school has given options to students they never had.
मैं केमिकल इंजीनियर या डॉक्टर ऑफ फार्मेसी बनना चाहता हूँ। यहाँ पर हमारे पूरे एरिया में ऐसी केमिस्ट्री लैब कहीं और भी नहीं है।
Both these labs have been funded by overseas Indians through IDFOI, those who couldn't forget their motherland.
IDF में हमने 2 प्रोजेक्ट्स अपनी ओर से रखे हैं, एक नमामि गंगे और एक स्वच्छ भारत। नमामि गंगे का मतलब है गंगा मैया को प्रणाम करने के लिए, उनको प्रदूषण मुक्त करने के लिए आप राशि भेज सकते हैं। स्वच्छ भारत का मतलब है टॉयलेट्स का निर्माण। अपने गांव में, अपने राज्य में या देश में कहीं भी और जगह आप टॉयलेट निर्माण के लिए पैसा भेज सकते हैं। लेकिन इन दोनों प्रोजेक्ट्स के अलावा यदि आप अपने गांव में या अपने मन की कोई भी जगह चुनकर कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट लेना चाहते हैं तो उसके लिए भी पैसा भेज सकते हैं। राज्य सरकारें भी इसमें हमारे साथ जुड़ी हैं।
Give and rest assured that every rupee contributed towards projects implemented by IDFOI reaches the people it's meant for. You get regular monitoring reports and stay updated.
Anybody wanting to contribute $100, $1,000 or $1 million. Interestingly, the donor will also be able to monitor, supervise and give his inputs.
Contributions can be sent to IDFOI through a bank transfer or through the online payment gateway to specific sectors or to specific projects or to the IDFOI pool fund, which will be further disbursed based on project needs.
अगर आप किसी खास प्रोजेक्ट के पैसे को ज़्यादा समझते हैं और कम देना चाहते हैं तो हमने एक पूल फंड की भी व्यवस्था की है जिसमें सबसे कम राशि $100 की रखी है। वो $100 भेज करके आप उस पूल फंड में अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन दे सकते हैं जिसके माध्यम से हम बड़े बड़े प्रोजेक्ट लेंगे और उस राशि का प्रयोग करेंगे जिसमें आपकी राशि भी शामिल होगी।
You can contribute as an individual, a group of individuals, or even through your respective Indian association.
मैं पुनः आपसे अपील करती हूँ, एक मौका आया है, एक मंच आपको मिला है, आइए हम सब मिलकर भारत के विकास में अपना योगदान दें। धन्यवाद।
Giving back is not that difficult. Join us in building the India of you.
We hope you enjoyed that short film, and I do apologize for the slight technical glitch a little while earlier. Also a reminder that in case you need translation facilities, the headsets are still available outside the hall, and we have simultaneous translations in 3 languages, in Hindi, in English, and in French. And now I'd like to invite the session coordinator, Vani Rao, to make her presentation.
Seen this emotional appeal from the External Affairs Minister, who's also the chairperson of India Development Foundation. I'll give you a very quick presentation about the organization and also about the discussions we had in February this year with the overseas Indian community. As part of the participative dialogue that the government has initiated with the Indian diaspora, in February this year, External Affairs Minister chaired a discussion on how the Indian diaspora can play a larger role in India's social and development efforts, particularly in the context of the organization India Development Foundation for Overseas Indians. And we had the pleasure of inviting several overseas Indian domain experts to this meeting, and also some resident Indian experts who are already either working in the area of philanthropy or active with Indian community organizations. And the group discussed mainly about how we can work more actively and in a more effective manner with the Indian community to enable them to contribute to these programs. So the community, as you know, is spread worldwide at the moment. It's growing. It has a very large geographical footprint, and also I'm happy to say that it's very successful professionally and well placed in all fields. And among the Indian diaspora communities, particularly in the developed world, US and UK, the community is affluent and among the largest earning members in those countries. And we also have seen very high remittances from the Indian diaspora year after year. So diaspora philanthropy, several amongst you have already been contributing to programs in India to a sector or a cause of your choice. But we do hear from them that there are challenges that you face, in the sense there are not enough credible institutions, and there's a lack of accountability and transparency, and they do not get regular reports about how the money is being utilized. And since this is one of the most important aspects for any member of the Indian community, to see how their funds are being utilized, we recognize that here a platform like IDFOI has a lot of relevance. So As you saw in the film, it's a not-for-profit organization. And one of the USPs of the organization is that of the contributions we receive from the overseas Indians, everything is utilized for the project because the government pays for the operational and administrative costs of the organization. The entire donation amount is used for project implementation. And we also believe in acknowledgements to the donors. Any asset that is created with the help of a donor is given recognition at the site itself. And regular updates, reports are sent about how the project is being implemented, both directly to the donor and also on the social media platforms on the IDF website itself. Among the projects we are supporting at the moment, there are two large priority areas. One is Swachh Bharat Mission, and the other is Namami Gange, which is the National Mission for Clean Ganga. In addition to that, we are also enabling contributions to projects in healthcare, sanitation, education in various states of India. Last year, we started working very closely with the Indian community, Indian states, asked them for projects, and then they gave us projects which meet our specifications in various sectors. So we enable contributions to these projects as well, other than Swachh Bharat and Namami Gange. Some of the projects that we've implemented recently, you can see glimpses of that on the slides here. Computer lab was set up in a school in Swaminarayan High School in Gujarat, and also another couple of projects which you see. I will just leave these images with you. The more recent projects we've done pertain to Swachh Bharat Mission, and these were community toilets that we've constructed in Vijayawada, Tirupati and Amritsar. Of these, one has become totally functional and the other two are going to be inaugurated very soon. And if you pay attention to the images that you see here, you can also see the logo of IDF that is displayed there and the name of the donor prominently also seen on the asset. We have several upcoming projects that are either about to take off or will be implemented in the next couple of months, including some in Jammu and Kashmir in a girls' college, additional classrooms in Punjab, and more projects in the sanitation sector in Rajasthan, some in West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, and also Maharashtra. So that was a brief overview of the organization itself. And in February, the recommendations of this eminent group that you saw here were very useful for us in the sense they gave us a much more focused direction. And they told us that we should strengthen our USPs, which is accountability, efficiency, and transparency. They also recommended that beyond projecting itself as an organization which enables philanthropy, IDFOI should also be a platform which offers the most value for the contributions that are made by the overseas Indians. And the panel also recommended that in addition to monetary contributions, we should also facilitate other forms of contribution as well, such as knowledge, or those who are interested in volunteering their time and knowledge to those in India. The other recommendations that we found of relevance were that IDF was asked to have a very segmented approach, that we should approach different groups of overseas Indians with a different strategy. For example, that we should either have a country-based approach or an approach based on specific states or sectors or particular cause, because different things appeal to different overseas Indians. We were asked also to strengthen our database of community organizations so that we have a much more effective outreach, and to facilitate actual visits to projects by the donors and those who contribute. And one of the important takeaways for us was that everybody felt that because the second generation of overseas Indians is a very critical segment, IDFOI should also actively engage with them. And we have been doing that. I'll happy to share with you. We were also asked that in addition to our own outreach events that we do in various countries, we should participate in community events abroad that take place regularly every year. For example, annual conventions of the community organizations in US, UK, or other parts of the world. We were asked to also adapt ourselves to the new age digital platforms and focus more on mobile and online platforms to connect with the diaspora and to enable donations through handheld devices and to use platforms such as YouTube for better promotion. Also, working with Indian embassies and consulates was considered as a very positive aspect for the organization, that because the embassies are anyhow in touch with the community organizations, we were asked to work very closely with them. We were asked to celebrate something called an IDF OI Day in countries outside, so that one particular day is designated in a year for contributions by overseas Indians to IDF and the projects supported by us. Some of these we have already acted on, and we are trying to project ourselves as an organization which enables a larger connect between the overseas Indians and their place of origin in India. So it's not just sectors or a particular cause, but we are also focusing on giving to the overseas Indians projects in their villages or hometowns. And you can see here some of the images from the social media outreach that we've undertaken for the projects. We have also launched an online payment gateway recently. And through this payment gateway, we are enabling overseas Indians to contribute a minimum of $100 to a project of their choice, or just to the IDF organization itself, so that the funds can be utilized. We are working very closely with PayPal, and once their internal approvals are through, we hope to also allow contributions through PayPal to IDF OI. And we've been very actively enhancing our database of overseas Indian associations. We are in touch with professional organizations of the Indian community and also prominent Indians, because I think they can be brand ambassadors for IDF. And some of our eminent board members who you see here, they have also been actively promoting IDF OI. And the biggest champion has been, of course, our External Affairs Minister, who has spared no effort in guiding us. We've also done a couple of Google Hangouts in last few months to connect to newer segments of overseas Indians and to reach out to them. These have been quite well received by the community. And we keep the missions and community organizations regularly updated. So I think I will stop it here and leave the floor now open for question and answers. Here I would like to put some ground rules for the question and answer session. The chair, secretary, myself, and all the eminent panelists that you see here, we will take your questions. But before that, we will circulate a paper. Kindly put down your question on paper clearly and mention your name and your country also on it. And we will go through the questions and select those which we are certain that are relevant to the topic that we are discussing today. And if the question is relevant, the chair will call upon the person who asked the question to either elaborate, or we can take the question ourselves. So with that, I leave you here. And we hope that we can take away some more suggestions from you, your comments and your questions. And the idea is to build on your thoughts, feedback, your insights, and to do our work much more effectively. Thank you. We have a question from Vignesh in Bangalore. Could you please stand up wherever you are?
Yes, I'm here. Why should you require the funds from NRIs? Government of India is cash rich. You post that Government of India has lot of funds. Why do you depend on NRIs for this development of projects in India? NRIs would have struggled hard, put in their best efforts.
Hello, can I reply, please?
Oh, 1 minute, 1 minute. Are you allow me?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Don't depend on NRIs. Government of India can
Please.
increase,
Okay.
impose some cess and all.
Okay,
taxes.
we have heard you.
You can do
Please.
wonders.
Listen to the chair. Please sit down. We'll reply to your question. IDF-OI is a voluntary effort for people who constantly say and desire that they would like to contribute to India's requirements, or for their own emotional satisfaction, they would like to connect with India for their own needs. There have been repeated requests to Government of India that they would like to have a reliable, transparent, accountable channel, and at the same time acknowledgement for such philanthropic or charity activities. This is not a tax. This is not compulsory. This is a voluntary activity. And there are many organizations already undertaking such activities. If you wish to do it, please do it. If you do not wish, we still respect you. And we really, wherever you are, you are doing well, please continue to do well. We have all the best. So, please, as you have seen Honorable Sushmaji's appeal, your sentiment needs to be connected with that to India. That's, the core objective.
I think there are hundreds of thousands of us who have gone out of India, are still connected and do a lot of work in their own community, in their own villages, towns, schools, everything. And if you, the gentleman, I can tell you, you can come with me and travel with me in tribal India, you will learn how much you want to do. You will also feel emotional to do it. So this is not any, as the Secretary mentioned, this is not any imposition on any one of us. It is our desire to do something for motherland.
Yeah. If I can add to something to this, it's not a government of India who wants money. It's the NRI people, NRI community who wants to connect themselves to their roots and share the prosperity. The prosperity is something that which you can enjoy when you share with other people. Otherwise, it's your money, you enjoy that much, but then that peace will not come to you until you share with the near and dear ones. And this is the route that where we can contribute our might, contribute our knowledge, as they said, and also the money, which is required to the downtrodden and the oppressed and depressed people. So I say that it is not for the government of India. We NRI need a route. We need a channel to contribute our prosperity. Thank you.
See, we are living outside, and sometimes we don't know how to spend money in India. So we need a route, and there, government of India is facilitating us. They are doing a favor to us to making this happen, and so we can spend our desire, our money through government of India, where there is a transparency, there is accountability, and there is a report, and there is even recognition in the whole world. So I think this is a very good initiative taken by this government.
To give it a context, those of us who have been living decades away from Bharat, the concept for us is wherever we are, that is our karma bhumi, and this is our punya bhumi. So for us to connect to punya bhumi, it is an emotional need for us, those of us, and this is not a dabao. It's actually IDF-OI is doing us a favor, Government of India is doing us a favor to create this channel for us. And it is a seamless channel, it's a frictionless channel, which means that the government is not taking any money and it is only helping us direct. So we are thankful to IDF-OI for this.
Hello. This is Mohan Chari from Hyderabad. Uh, as you are saying that one NGO is working a lot for the country.
Can you please?
Yeah, here, sir.
Please, no. Can you please sit down? We have questions already received.
Oh,
and,
okay.
we are taking the relevant questions.
Relevant question only.
Yes, because if we don't take relevant questions, we will be spending time on things that we do not intend to discuss in this forum. So please bear with me. I would like, is Mr. Somebody says you mentioned payments in dollar. I have income generated in India. Can I contribute in INR? Gigi Varghese, Saudi Arabia. Can you raise your hand? Gigi Varghese, you have a good question. And to to your happiness, I would like to say that if you have an NRI account in India, you can contribute from the same. Initially, this was not allowed, but a suggestion was made to us, and the board has accepted that if you have rupee accounts in India, you can contribute to the IDFOI. Thank you.
Sorry for interrupting. Not only NRE, I'm talking about NRO accounts. Like
Yeah.
From the NRO.
All accounts.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody who has any accounts in India can, but not the resident Indians. This is really a facility, or rather a kind of a channel that we are providing, because the resident Indian does not face these difficulties. Additional advantage of IDFOI is all your money is exempted from tax in India. In your respective countries, you will have to take care. You have to see if in America, if there are tax exempted organizations through whom you want to channelize the money, that's your desire and your problem. But in India, the money is not taxable at all, because IDFOI is tax exempted trust registered by Government of India. Would you like to take another question? Okay. Dr. M. Jamiluddin Iqbal. With regard to higher education, can Indian government take some steps to start medical engineering colleges in Saudi Arabia, as there are about 2 million Indians in this country? What are the specific achievements made in Ganga water cleaning project? Now, I think it's important for me to give you some details as to how we implement. Implementation, Ministry of External Affairs is primarily responsible for foreign relations. However, the government has made diaspora an important cornerstone of our foreign policy. So we're trying to engage with the community, overseas Indian community, in as many ways as possible. Since we have states where the projects are ultimately implemented, we have interacted with the states and requested them to give us a bouquet of projects, and 100 such projects that we have collected from the states are already on our website, IDFOI website, and you can choose from any one of them. For example, if ex-member of the community who comes from Kerala, he wants to build, say, a women's community center in a particular village or taluk or district, and if he tells us that this is the project, it is there, it is not there, what I want to do is not there in the 100 projects. If it is there, it is easier for us, because we can immediately tell the state government, this project from your state has been selected by this ex-donor from Saudi Arabia. However, if you do not want to select from those 100 projects, you can select your own project, and we'll work with you, we'll do the hand-holding, and we will identify the state for you. If you have a state in mind, we'll interact with that state, and we'll have a state agency nominated for the implementation of the project. And after that, we will channelize. With your understanding, we'll channelize the money to them, and we'll also supervise along with you. You will be able to visit the project, and at the end of the project, there will be signage, formal signage in your name. Regarding Saudi Arabia and higher education,
yes, that's my main concern.
I would like to say that this particular fund is created for philanthropy and charity in India. The colleges in Saudi Arabia will not really, fall under the jurisdiction of this particular subject matter.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, what I mean is, Can Government of India think of opening the colleges,
Yeah,
engineering and
I
medical
understood your
colleges
question.
in Saudi Arabia?
I understand, but this, this is not a forum where we can discuss this matter. It is a different forum, and you can see.
Okay.
How
Thank you, sir.
There is Suresh Kumar, Qatar. How do you ensure transparency in such funds? By being transparent, we ensure the transparency for such funds. What else can I say? When a Government of India's secretary says that this will be 100% transparent, extremely efficient, extremely accountable, and where you will be able to monitor your own projects. Actually, you will be accountable to implement your own projects. You will always find us ahead of you in terms of helping you out for the implementation of the project.
So, yeah, my name is Hari Prasad from Middle East. So, to the continuation of the Saudi Arabia issue, this can be discussed during this next today and tomorrow's session? Because this is a very big burning issue.
There is a session on education, and it was held yesterday.
That is for youth.
Honorable, yeah, but youth and education and college education are deeply connected. That's why I'm saying that please raise it to appropriate forum. If it is not already covered, please write to us. We are open to all suggestions.
Yeah, because
no, please sit down.
So one more minute, I want to take it.
You have to honor the chair. You have to honor the chair means you have.
No, I'll honor the chair,
yes.
But because this is a very big issue which we are facing in the
I
Middle East.
understand. Please sit down. Please sit down. Please sit down. We can't move like that. Mr. Rachit Agarwal, who is from India, one of the important aspects of any project is sustainability. Two important projects shown was computer lab and public toilets. After completion, is IDF-OI undertaking the work to maintain these projects for longevity? In short, is IDF also taking contribution for sustaining the completed projects? This is an excellent question. Excellent question. However, MEA does not directly take responsibility of about the sustainability of the project because these are implemented with the help of the state governments. If you wish to contribute for the sustainability, you are welcome. We will do hand-holding again there. What we have ensured, and which is after our own experience with this particular project, is we do take an undertaking from the state government that whatever the facilities are created are maintained and sustained for a reasonable period of time. Because that is the kind of guarantee that we can try and ensure. Because with each project, we sign a memorandum of understanding with the state government. That is just to decide the framework of a particular project. I hope Rachit Agarwal is satisfied with that response. How are projects selected? Can OI associations be involved? What can NGOs do to submit a project? Can I request Mr. Yusuf Ali, who is a member of this panel and already contributed, to say in few words, reply this particular question? This question is from Daniel. Now jokes. Please forgive me if I am not pronouncing it correctly. From US.
Thank you, sir. See, when we were attending the mini PBDs in different countries, a lot of young NRIs and well-off NRIs were asking us that what we can do for our country, how we can contribute to our country regarding Swachh Bharat, constructing toilets, or to help the schools, or to help publics in general. So, under the leadership of Prime Minister and our Honorable External Affairs Minister, they decided that we want to give an answer to this particular issue. So, IDF, Indian Development Foundation for Overseas Indians, we started this trust. So, any NRIs can contribute to this trust, but they should mention that what they want. They want to
construct the toilets or to give to the schools or for water or Swachh Bharat or Ganga Namami Ganga, whatever they need through the Ministry of External Affairs. So this is a transparent process. I myself first contributed to this great project, and we constructed toilets in Punjab and very remote area, and even 5 to 10 kilometers there were no toilets at this area. And the schools we want to construct because we want to do good for our future generation also. So this is a great opportunity for the overseas Indians to help, and we should be also as a part of our reconstructing this India's development. How we can develop or we can contribute for the development, India's development. So my request to my fellow NRIs that you should take it in this way, that we can also be a part of the development and we want to contribute to the development of India. Thank you.
From Switzerland, Satya Rao has a question. Can you stand and say your question? Mr. Satya Rao, yes, go ahead.
Just I want to make sure the community, what community needs, that should be helped, that should be contributed towards. So that is what I did not understand from your presentation, how you will select the project based on the initiatives in the government or a community-based request, what is coming up around the world, around the country. That was the question. Thank you.
Vanira will respond.
We do a little bit of both, actually. We've asked the state governments in all the states to send us projects, but we've identified the sectors. For example, we are focusing now on sanitation, education, healthcare, women's empowerment. These are the core sectors. Within that, we have told them to give us projects that are within the range of 2 lakh rupees to 50 lakh rupees. And we also see if they have given us a proposal which is concrete, realistic, which has timelines, budgets, including the O&M costs. But there are some individuals among the overseas Indians who approach us saying they want to support a project in a particular village or a town. And in that case, even if we don't have a project in that location, we have gone back to the state governments and we have successfully obtained projects for these overseas Indians, which are going to be implemented in the next few months.
Thank you. Biju Panikar from Qatar. Can you please stand and ask your question? Are you here? Yeah, please go ahead.
Hello. While appreciating the efforts for NRIs to contribute in terms of money, as all of you might be aware, NRIs all over the world, they excel in various fields as engineers, as doctors, as specialists. And they would like to contribute not just money, but their expertise. So can the ministry consider to form a pool and where such NRIs can register, and whenever such requests are needed by the government or government needs any expertise which is not available within the country, these experts could provide expertise, even like designing toilets to a new standard. There could be experts all over the world, Indian experts, so they could help the project.
Thank you. I would like to say here that the objectives as of now of IDF-OI is to create capital assets. That is, structures that live rather than on, volunteer activities. However, that is not precluded. As OCIs and NRIs, you can undertake voluntary activities which, and they do not require government's permissions as such. So, you're welcome, and many organizations are already doing it. I do not wish to mention their names, but they are already doing it. So, you're welcome if you have any such ideas. Next question. Mr. Basant Kumar Dugar from Thailand and Singapore. Are you here? Yeah, please.
The definition of NRI under Indian Income Tax Act 1961 and FEMA New Act is different. Can you make it resembling? Number two, we can get PAN online while staying abroad, all NRIs, but we cannot get Aadhaar online. Can you streamline this?
Okay. Well, Basant Kumar Dugarji, your question is something perhaps that many people have in their mind. But again, I'm sorry, this is not the forum where we can reply to this question.
This will help to remit
Yeah,
funds for investment.
But I
and
assure you,
also
we have
anthropologists.
noted this,
Yeah.
and we will separately.
And one question in that, ATG is not available for investment from abroad, but this is available here. Can you also make suggestion for having amendment in the Indian Income Tax Act?
Well, as I said, Mr. Dugar, we will note your suggestion. Can I ask Avijit K from UK to please raise your question?
Thank you, everyone. My question is very simple. It's a great initiative, and when I registered for PBD, that's when I came to know through an email that this exists. How can we help in propagating it to pretty much everyone abroad? Because obviously we have WhatsApp group and Facebook and everything else, but is there anything that's designed so that we can take use of it and make maximum people aware? Thank you.
See, this is each country has, NRIs and Indians, and there is social groups. So this initiative should be taken by them, because we are like in Thailand. Today, I can say that in Thailand, 70% of NRIs knows about IDF OI, what is IDF and what is OI is doing. We had a conference there. We called the local people, and we took social media very strongly and make this message everywhere for the PBD, for the IDF. So this is the local country people, each country can do the best job and better job and faster.
In US, we are taking a couple of different approaches to how this marketed, so to say. For instance, we are working with the consul generals of San Francisco, New York, Chicago, Houston, and during the major events such as Republic Day events, Independence Day events, there are people coming in, and we will be marketing along with them. So who's we? I belong to an organization called Seva International. We are working with IDFOI to do just that. And the advantage is for those of us who are from the United States, you want to contribute, you can get a tax deductible contribution through Seva International, which will directly go into IDFOI, which satisfies multiple objectives. So we use social media. We are promulgating it. We just started the initiative. So as we go along, there'll be more and more people knowing about it.
Thank you. I think while this conversation is getting interested, we're also short of time and need to move to the next session. But if you're really interested, please get in touch with our IDFOI team. They're working 24/7 to respond to you. I can also mention, by way of fact, that the kind of response that we expect has not come so far. Nevertheless, we have made a good beginning, and in the 2016-17, we have generated some funds, and already implementation has begun. Last question, I'll request Sudhin Nair, and thereafter I'll request our panelists to add 1 or 2 sentences from their side, and after that I'll request Honorable MOS to close the discussions. I also understand that some members of this August gathering are keen to contribute, so we will give them a minute or two to come forward and maybe share their check or contribution. Thank you. Sudhin Nair. Are you here? Yeah, please go ahead.
So first of all, thanks for the Government of India for taking such initiatives and giving opportunities for NRIs to contribute towards their nation. But how is it that there are a lot of NRIs, due to their busy schedule, they won't be able to join this event? So that for them, if there is opportunity, any helpline number or something, wherein they can anytime approach it and get to know about the details about this.
That's an excellent suggestion. We don't have a helpline yet, but we are very approachable on Twitter, Facebook, and other platforms. We've also done some Google Hangouts recently to reach out to people like yourself. So we'll be happy to connect with you on any of these platforms.
Yeah, thank you. But my suggestion would be, like, if some helpline is there, it's always very easy for people to clarify all their doubts and everything. In Twitter or Facebook, it may not be the same.
We'll take that suggestion on board.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So, what I'm going to do is the remaining suggestions will be handed over to the Secretariat of IDFOI. And please feel free to send us an email. We are just an email away from all of you. Now I'll request our panelists to just in 1 or 2 sentences, if they can, add anything to this discussion, because we need to close it quickly.
Yeah. If you haven't been to the booth, please go to IDFOI booth. They have brochures, they have emails, they will guide you a lot of other things. And please send your suggestions, because there are a lot of things we can do. We can add, we can find solutions on this thing. So in a positive way, negative way is not possible. Let's do positive way what we can do, and we can provide the information. Thank you. Namaskar.
Well, I want to mention one thing, that I know how IDF is different and better than any other NGO organization could be, because it has backing of Indian government, which is making its operational cost, administrative cost, and taking care of that, which makes our donations, any of our NRIs are donating even a single dollar, that goes 100% towards to the project. That itself makes a very big advantage compared to if you donate to any other organization. Or, for example, if you take the project in your own hand and try to implement it, say, for example, in your village or wherever, that would attract some administrative cost and operational cost as well. But IDF is giving this opportunity to us, and that's why I would like to thank on behalf of all the NRIs that to give us this opportunity and this platform to connect Indian diaspora with the social development that is happening and on the ground. So this is the biggest advantage. To answer and add one point of one of the friend who mentioned how to make the outreach of IDF to maximum maximum Indian diaspora is, of course, helpline, but the main thing is these days social media is very active. IDF team is super active on Twitter, Facebook, and as Vaniji mentioned, Google Hangout. We should make use of these platforms to spread the word across all Indian diaspora as much as possible, so that more and more people can know about it, can find about it, and they can also get opportunity to contribute towards their cause. Thanks.
One simple idea which perhaps everybody of us from today can do without giving the money, as Vaniji also mentioned, volunteering time. Even you don't have to spend too much time. Seva Darshan, Seva Anubhav, and Seva Internship. These 3 are simple concepts. We come here for vacation or for different purpose. If we take out 2 hour, 4 hour, half day, something like that, and visit a local service project, you will observe tremendous amount of fantastic work is going on in Bharat, in different states, different places. That way, it will not only inspire our own friends and families, but it will be very inspiring and encouraging for those people who are actually working. In Seva International, for example, internship is going on. Vaniji mentioned that they are also exploring how that can be encouraged. That's an area where youth can experience the joy of service, as well as the whole family can do this thing together.
हम भारतीय दुनिया के सबसे पहले व्यक्ति हैं
और हमारे डीएनए में ये चीज़ है कि हम क्या कर सकते हैं, क्या दे सकते हैं। हम कुछ भी देंगे उसका कितना असर हो सकता है, इसकी सब उदाहरणें हमारे सामने हैं। हमें क्या देना है, अपना क्या धर्म है, धर्म अपनी ड्यूटी है। समाज ने हमें बहुत कुछ दिया है, समाज ने दिया है तभी हम यहाँ हैं। हम भी समाज के लिए कुछ कर सके, जितना कर सकोगे उसका आनंद आपको उससे ज़्यादा आएगा। जैसे आपने कहा है कि थोड़ा सा एक एक बूंद से समुद्र बनता है। एक एक आदमी की सेवा से ही नर सेवा नारायण सेवा मानी जाती है। इस प्रकार से हम क्या कर सकते हैं और उसमें आईडीएफ में हम कितना दे सकते हैं, ये तो सारा 100% ट्रांसपेरेंट है। एक पैसा कहीं इधर उधर जाना नहीं है और सारा ऑन अकाउंट है। एक पैसा भी विदाउट चेक विदाउट थिंग जाना नहीं है। तो हम जो कुछ कर सकते हैं, क्या नहीं कर सकते विषय ये नहीं है, क्या कर सकते हैं इसको हम सोचेंगे तो हम बहुत बड़ा काम कर सकते हैं और ये हमारे स्वभाव में है। नमस्कार।
Namaskar. I think now we have this excellent platform to take it to the next stage. The only right now bottleneck is having NRI community knowing well about it. And for that, while embassies, consulate, MEA will do so many efforts, I request all of you who are present here that now from today onwards, you become the informal ambassadors of this project, and wherever you go on your WhatsApp groups, on your Diwali parties, on your New Year parties, on your Bhangras and Republic Day celebration, wherever you go, you spread the word about it, that this is a platform which is transparent, efficient, government supported, and whatever you would like to do for your own community in your own village, which you always wanted to do but you could not do because you didn't have the mean to do it, a way to do it. Now this platform gives you this opportunity, and therefore I appeal all of you to be the ambassador of this important project. Thank you.
To involve in the social development of our country is our duty and responsibility. So I request all my fellow NRIs to join in this good venture. And also Jana Seva, Janardana Seva. Thank you.
So, although I'm very involved in an NGO from the UK, but I also support this initiative by the Government of India. And the reason is that the first time ever, you have a platform where you are given an assurance in the public media to say that your money will be used wisely and you will be the owners of that project. And for that reason, it is important that we all undertake to support this initiative. As I said, despite the fact that I'm very involved in an NGO, extremely involved, but I'm also aware, and so is the rest of the team within the organization I'm involved in, that we cannot reach everywhere, yet the Government of India, through its aegis, has a reach to every town, village, and location where you, as a member of public, have a desire, have a strong family link, have the DNA, as I said before, that you want to do something in your locality because that's where you want to have memories, that's where your roots are. So I encourage you to take on board what has been put forward and embrace this platform. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, I'm talking on behalf of NRIs. There's one idea that I had suggested last time, that any donation, if IDF-OI can take the ATG permission, then as NRIs, we don't need the tax credit. But if we can make an amendment for transferring this tax credit to our relatives in India, it'll be very useful. You can get more donations. So I request you to consider that now that the budget is coming up. Thank you.
In order to promote this idea, I also suggest from this forum that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs should take up with all the embassies that they promote these ideas in various their programs which they conduct every month or quarterly or whatever it is. And with that way, people will be, there will be a face for this program in overseas. Otherwise, it's like a remote control from the Delhi to the other cities. So I suggest that that should be the way that we can promote these ideas. And to the all NRIs, I will say that, you need to share your peace and prosperity, and that will give you more happiness. And whatever small amount you can give it, that is acceptable, as Ministry has said. And at the same time, if you have got a bigger money, you can do your project. So all the people can connect with this program. Thank you.
So before we conclude, and I request Honorable MOS to conclude, we have a good news. Shri Satyanarayan Gunda from Chicago, USA, originally from village Yandalapalli in Telangana, has donated rupees 20 lakhs to the IDFOI this morning. If you can identify yourself, come to the stage and have a shake hand with the minister. Are you here? Oh, he has come. Well, sometimes, one thing leads to another. So we have Shri Ashok Mago here from the United States. Is he here? He has announced US dollar 25,000. And since he forgot his check in the hotel, he will be handing that over tomorrow. But this evening I'll remind him so that he does not forget it again tomorrow. Ashok ji, here is Mr. Please congratulate him. Okay, just a few sentences.
This donation is from U.S.-India Chamber Foundation in Dallas, Texas. And this is, I would say, just the beginning. We will continue to contribute for different projects.
Thank you, Mr. Mago. May I now request Honorable Chair to conclude this session?
Thank you very much, Secretary Mule. Thank you very much, Pani. Thank you particularly the assembled panel here. And most of all, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being here with us today. Briefly, the question that I have before me, and I'm sure this should interest you as well, why are we all here? May I suggest an answer that is a little above our individual selves? We are here today because exactly 100 years ago, or if we want to be very, very accurate, 100 years short 2 months ago, a man in a dhoti had a dream. Gandhiji stepped out in March 1917 to a small unknown village called Champaran, and there set out not merely to challenge the British Empire, that was only one part of his vision. He set out to do something even more important than that, that was to build a nation. Since then, over the last 100 years, if you look at it historically, the first phase of the challenge was freedom from the British. The second phase of the challenge, which also occurred during Gandhiji's time, was the challenge to our nation's unity. I will not dwell too much on that, except to say that 1947 did not end that challenge to unity. There are those of you who remember clearly that we had to continue to defend our unity and indeed do so today with fervor, commitment, unity, and conviction. The third stage of that challenge, or the third challenge, if you like, was something that is not often recognized. It is the challenge of stability. Stability on many areas. Stability in political stability, stability in social stability, and perhaps the two are interconnected. However, today we can say that yes, we have achieved the kind of stability and unity and freedom which is the envy of the world, particularly that world that was so skeptical in 1947 that it did not believe that we could exist. But we Indians proved to the world that not only could we exist as a united nation, but also prove that we had the capability of building a nation, and a nation which could actually see the first glimmer of a future which includes prosperity. But I tell you, we are now into the fourth challenge. What is this challenge? The challenge of prosperity. What is prosperity? All of us sitting here are prosperous, make no mistake about that. But lots of our fellow citizens, of our brothers and our sisters, and our children do not share that good fortune. So the question before us is that what can we do to improve the quality of their lives? What can we do to help them? The question that was asked, in the very first question that was asked, perhaps it left a few of us queasy, but it's a question that needs to be answered. America is the richest nation in the world, richer by far than anyone else is known. America also has the largest number of people who donate their wealth for the service of the underprivileged, for the service not only of the poor in their country, but for the service also of poor elsewhere. And why do they do it? Because we have nationalism, we have unity, but we also have a conscience. And it is the demand of that conscience that brings us here. Trust me, when I say that in the last 2 years, our Prime Minister has led the way into improving the quality of lives with the states, with the national resolve and national will and national support behind him in 100 different ways. There are ordinary Indians whose names we do not know, who have given now, 15 million cooking gas cylinders? 15 million gas cylinders. There have been unknown and anonymous officials who have helped to bring, from government and from the banking sector, who have helped to bring 300 million Indians into the banking sector. Every day, the Prime Minister has a catechism. He asks, what have we done today to improve the quality of the life of the poor? That, ladies and gentlemen, is why we are here. And if we can do a little, there is, in my view, nothing called little and a lot. Every contribution is equal. I only want to end with a very familiar sentence in the English language. It's a proverb. Charity begins at home. And this is your home. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you all very much. We will begin the next session in a few minutes, so please be seated.
But not before we felicitate our very distinguished panelists. Please, a token of appreciation from us for this session and for your presence here today. And thank you, Honorable Minister, for having chaired this session. Yes, and there's a request for a photograph, please, of this entire panel. So if you could all come here together, please, in the center of the stage. Thank you.
Takit din da da da, tagin da da din da da da, takit din da da da, tagin da da din da da da, takit din da trak din again, tagin da trak din da trak din again, takit din da trak din again, tagin da trak din da trak din again, takit din da trak din again, tagin da trak din da trak din again, takit din da trak din again, tagin da trak din da trak din again.
We'll go into the next plenary session, our second plenary session, Consular Services Ensuring Effective and Efficient Delivery, in just a few minutes from now.